Pour me a cup of that Joe. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge, baby. Let's start the show.
It's a beautiful morning out there, fellas, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Real gorgeous day.
I mean, it's got us chirping.
It's almost springtime.
Chirping like the birds. It is almost springtime.
Yeah.
That's right. The flowers are blooming, or about to bloom.
Yeah, my nose is thawing out.
Yes. I'm about to take off my sweatshirt for the season.
I can't wait. Honestly, it's going to be so nice to sweat again.
Yeah.
I've been ice cold the last few weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, you really ice up over winter. Your body goes into kind of an ice hibernation.
Yeah, I think my body. I think I'm like a cold-blooded because I seem to just sort of fluctuate with the weather.
But very cold-blooded.
Yeah, like I sort of start at like net 30 degrees below whatever else is going on outside. So
Centigrade.
Centigrade.
You walked in the door the other day and accidentally bumped your head. A piece of your hair just went...
Broke off and it stabbed me in my foot.
I know.
As icicles. My hair was icicles.
Hairsicles.
Hairsicles, yeah. And
Well, that'll be nice when those thaw out. You'll
Yeah.
actually be able to style your hair again. Because
Yeah.
unfortunately it froze in it's frozen bedhead.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Frozen.
Frozen.
I kind of look like a character from like a Japanese role playing game.
Yeah.
where it's just kind of pointing in every direction and it looks hard, doesn't move when I walk around.
Right. But it's popular with some of the students.
Yeah, I got in the RPG club,
Yeah.
which is fun.
And the RBG Club, right? Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ginsburg, yeah. Little did I know, she's had the same hairstyle for 40 years because her hair's frozen too.
Really?
Yeah, it's all part
She's
of the
very
same-
cold-blooded?
She's very cold-blooded as well.
Wow.
But a great lady.
Fantastic lady.
RBG is probably our favorite lady. Well, my favorite lady.
I tell you, when someone, because she had a meteoric rise the past year or two among millennials.
Oh, yeah.
Where it became cool to like her. They put her on shirts. They found out they could shorten her name like a rapper. And she became so cool so suddenly.
They all discovered who she was after 80 years of hard-fought public service.
Yeah. You love to see it. You know, it's never too late to become loved but still not known.
Yeah, just a cliche.
Yeah. I hope when I'm on my deathbed, everybody suddenly realizes I'm a great guy.
Well,
Yeah, me too.
what do they think about you now, Todd?
And they're barely talking about
Yeah,
me.
so you're on your deathbed. This
I
is what
think-
it's going to be.
No, I can see it. I can see you on your deathbed and just the whole country dabbing. Todd! Todd!
It's, well, you all know when I almost went out before, I ended up having to buy the deathbed. And it was the most unified American day since Hands Across America.
That's right.
Everybody got out of bed, and well, they Macarenaed because the dab wasn't around.
It was
yet.
more
The whole country Macarena.
more unifying than post 9/11.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
caused an earthquake. Everybody stomping in unison. It changed the whole frequency of the ground. It was the only cross-country earthquake we've ever seen.
Which was, everyone said it ended up being a shame because the earthquake is what shook my heart back awake.
That's
and
right.
everybody was like, all right, no Macarena next time.
Right.
And the doctors did diagnose your heart as asleep at the time, right?
Yeah. When you saw the X-ray, my heart had a little cap on, like Scrooge.
And some people were saying this was what is this now, the fifth 9/11? Between the earthquake and you waking back up. I'm not sure which one they were referring to. but-
Right. They're referring to the original. Then there's the earthquake was number 5, and
Yes.
that obviously we've still got the plane crashing into that football game that happened.
Yeah. So there's been a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oh, come on.
Oh!
I thought maybe we could start anew
Kick it.
with a little more balanced power structure, but I guess not, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Teacher's Lounge. It's the first, best, and only podcast pertaining to issues relevant to the Hamilton High School community. I, of course, am Howard, Coach Carter Levis, sitting in the lounge with my buddies.
Hey, what's going on, Howie? What's the Coach Carter about?
Well, as you guys know, since Bill has been traveling, he did have to forfeit the race for basketball coach. And as I was the only other person running, I got the job.
Wow.
And I've been telling the kids, listen, guys, I'm your Coach Carter. I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to make you go from losers to good ball players.
We got to figure out that rhyme. Huh?
Yeah, I probably should have started with losers.
Right.
Probably should have picked another word that sort of rhymes with something positive, but that's just, how I printed the T-shirts. So
Well, I think you
Losers
also
to
got
good
to
ball players.
yeah.
you also got to pick up a book on basketball because I've seen you using some of these Coach Carter things. You locked him in the gym, but you didn't teach him any basketball.
No,
So it's not helping anything.
Well, the way I see it is if you lock a mouse in a maze, if it runs around long enough, it's going to get out. And that's kind of how I figured it was with the gym thing. Lock him in the gym, throw some basketballs in there, let them play. Eventually, they're going to get good.
Yeah, and
it's just they will figure out how to practice.
we've checked in on the webcam, and it appears that things devolved quickly.
Yes.
A lot of the teachers are not making their students read Lord of the Flies. They're just watching the webcam of the students in the gym.
I actually, my webcam is now actually more popular than the Lion Cub webcam at the Bronx Zoo. It's more popular than the Osprey webcam from the Long Beach Aquarium.
Well, our Star Center is right now. What's that?
Our Star Center Piggy.
Our Star Center Piggy is right now nursing 3 little piglets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people are checking in for that.
A lot of people that used to watch the Shiba Inu, little pen are coming over to your live stream.
Yeah, and I'm, I'll get it out there now, looking for sponsors for the webcam. If anybody wants to slap their little logo bug in the bottom left or right corner, there's real estate, baby, and we will give it to you at a very good deal.
Right now, you're working with CornHub, right?
CornHub is currently our only sponsor, and you know what? I thought some of their content was a little bit risque for my tastes.
Can we talk about CornHub? This thing's a real problem, man.
It's taken over the school.
I didn't want to get into this. This is never something I planned to reveal. I'm addicted to CornHub.
Hey, it's
Look,
okay.
let's
It's
open
okay.
the floor right
I'm
now.
addicted to CornHub. You'll see me at home 2-3 in the morning, page 50, just looking for
Well,
more
that's
corn.
the thing is it's the search for the best ear of corn at the end of the day. And there's always a better ear on
Why
there.
can't I just be satisfied with a regular ear of corn? Why does it always have to be a weirder, more intense corn?
And they get crazy on there.
Yeah.
It's a spiral.
And now I'm watching, I'm looking at, I have to, since we're admitting things.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm a CornHub addict.
Oh, I feel so seen.
I mean, you are not seen by me. I am legally blind from looking at CornHub.
From the monitor.
I'm keeping my monitor right by. Well, you know how a lot of people lay in bed on their phone. I have the whole gateway computer in there, and
Yeah.
I'm putting the monitor.
You do your desktop monitor right on your chest
It's
there.
resting on my chest, and my neck is kind of cramped.
And you're nearsighted, so you really have to pull it.
Yeah, very.
Also-
very.
Your rib cage is very brittle. It feels like a bad idea.
Yeah. But that's addiction. You hurt
It's
yourself.
a serious thing, and I think it's something we're not talking about enough in our country.
Yeah.
It changes the way you even look at corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes the way you interact with corn in
it's-
real life.
and
I spit on my fajitas yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god!
absolutely changed.
And that's at a
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah, in public.
In public, you don't even know if you're doing
just
your
needed to
rude
hear the
sizzle.
behavior.
Yeah.
I know.
And I can't even cook myself dinner anymore. Because that's just I get home and I'm looking at it and I'm just, well, this isn't going to be as good as the stuff that I can find online.
Exactly. How do I even eat anymore?
How do I even eat?
I'm
So-
addicted to pictures and videos of eating.
Have you guys seen this creamed corn?
Well, I don't like to admit it, but
Yeah,
of
that's-
course.
Yeah, let's just say
That is some of the sexiest corn I've ever seen. And by sexiest, I mean makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
bad.
other stuff too.
But anyway,
Well, so I don't know about that sponsorship because a lot of we don't want to get teens hooked on corn.
no, I'm telling you, I'd love to get anybody else on board. Any other sponsors for the Lock Gym
I'm
webcam?
not done revealing.
Oh no.
It's not just CornHub.
Uh-oh.
I've also been spending a lot of time on UCorn.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It just sucks.
It's okay.
to know it's got such a hold on me.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Well-
Hey, just because to make you feel better, if it
you
makes
go
you
to
feel
UCorn too?
I do UCorn, but also I'm a paid member of Shuckers.
No.
Yes,
my God.
Shuckers.com.
No. Is it as
It's-
good as they say?
It's
Well,
it
because
is.
Shuckers gives you access to Mother Shuckers.
Yes, it does.
I know.
Yeah. It's bad, man.
It's really
a slippery
bad.
slope. Once you get addicted to the free stuff, you say, what, $7.99 a month for access to some bigger, better
I'll just
stuff?
look at a couple kernels.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I'm backing off. I'll just look at a couple kernels today, and then I'll go about my day. Flash forward, it's 30 hours later, and I'm on page 200 of Ucorn. Just slobbering, losing my mind.
Well,
And it's horrible. I have the same vision problems, Todd. I'm going blind from Ucorn.
yeah, I mean, if you could see us in
Brightness
this
all the
room
way
right
up.
now, we are face to face just to see each other. Our mics are all next to each other, and our noses are touching just so we can see the expressions on each other's faces.
And I can't talk about anything but Ucorn.
Oh,
I
it's
brought
not-
it up on the pod.
I don't want to bring it up to you guys in case you haven't discovered it yet, but it's not just corn for me. It's Brussels sprouts. I'm on Bruzzers.
No.
Yeah. I'm on Bruzzers.
That's a sister site to Shuckers, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, not just sister.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
I mean, it's roasted Brussels sprouts.
Oh my God.
It's pan fried. It's boiled.
It's baked. We all know the breadth of the site.
Look, we need to.
Listen,
So here's what
I have another
did.
admission. I'm on carrot penis. I'm on carrot penis.
And that's Carrot Top's.
Porn site. I'm also addicted to pornography.
So, kids, listen, if you're listening to this, just know that there's tons of people out there who have the same problems as you, okay?
That's right.
Come to us.
And if you're brave enough to admit it, health is just on the other side of the truth.
Oh my God.
I'm addicted to both corn
He could
porn.
have gone with Carrot Bottom, but he said Carrot Penis. Was doing he wanted to name his website.
I'll tell you what, this guy loves props. he cuts to the core no matter what.
Yeah, a lot of these alt porn people are anti-carrot penis, but carrot penis is good. All right, it is gut. It is gut good.
Enough of this alt porn crowd.
Carrot penis has been playing Vegas for years.
Yeah.
And people like it, all right?
It's
It
more
satisfies
visceral,
everyone.
man.
It's visceral.
I don't want to think. I don't want to think when I'm watching porn.
Yeah.
I want to just immedially get it. I
Yeah.
want it to be simple, and I want it to be edgy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I like
Which
that
carrot penis
carrot
very
penis
much is. He's both edgy, sexy, and funny. This is the perfect mix of my interests.
Well, look,
Yeah.
I have been trying to, I have been so isolated. I've got my gateway imprinted on my rib cage. I have been trying to meet some people. I obviously got
Yeah.
bagel fished a little while ago.
Yeah.
Been dating.
It's hard for me to trust somebody, but I met a widow.
No.
Congratulations, Todd.
Yeah, I feel very lucky.
A woman with a
I
dead
met a
husband.
widow. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's, incredibly lonely and sad, and
Sounds perfect for you.
you know,
Now you say with a dead husband. Is that as literal as it sounds?
how do you mean?
When you see her,
She's still with husband?
does she still hang out with her dead husband?
she is not exactly over it. Is my polite way to see it.
Right. I
Say
saw
it.
you guys out to dinner, I think, and you guys were doing sort of a weekend at Bernie's.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a kind of a mix of Weekend at Bernie's and a little bit of Jeff Dunham, I would say. And I find that through a lot of my theater games, I find them to be therapeutic, and so I know a lot about therapy. As the old slobs know.
That's beautiful.
I've worked with a therapist.
A mannequin in a high rise.
A mannequin in a high rise
Dressed
dressed
as
like
Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz, obviously.
When floor to ceiling windows became a real spectacle.
Old slobs know. And obviously, I'm a big feminist, and in my feminism class, that was very therapeutic. I learned a lot. So I'm working with her now, to get over the death of her husband and hopefully kind of imprint all of those feelings directly onto me. I'm hoping to kind of slowly slide him aside.
Now, are
and slide
you?
right
You
in
said
there.
it's a little bit of a Jeff Dunham situation as well as Weekend at Bernie's. Is she the Dunham in the situation, or are you the Dunham?
She's the Dunham. Okay. I tried a little bit, and it just wasn't working out.
So you can't throw your voice.
Your date is mostly her sitting there motionless, and you talking to him.
Talking to her husband's corpse. But every once in a while, she'll order her food, or he'll order for her. But she'll eat, and I'm actually having a pretty nice connection with the husband, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, what's their relationship? Is it sort of the classic mannequin thing? He makes fun of her a lot? Or?
He makes fun of her. He kind of wishes he could get separate, but also knows that they're, universally entwined. A lot of stuff about her hand, being up his butt and stuff. But then once you get past all, because that's nerves, that's first date jokes and stuff. Yeah. Once you get past that, he's a deep guy. We have a ton in common.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to her out of quote unquote character? I talked to her.
How to talk to her?
Yeah, and just to be clear, it would be when her mouth is moving instead of his.
And maybe the dead body's not even around.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put that many parameters on it, it's an obvious no. It's hard to live up to all of those rules. She's grieving. So right now, I'm mostly talking to the huz.
And this may be impolite to ask, how recently was she widowed?
No, it's not impolite. I asked her the same thing. Because, the amount of time makes it more or less unusual for her. And it's only been 7 years, and so she's dealing with that type of thing.
Now, is this body preserved in some way? Or has it been embalmed? Is it taxidermied? Because 7 years is a long time to be puppeting a dead corpse.
Hey, you hit all three. It's preserved, embalmed, and taxidermied. She tried to cover all her bases, and frozen, which you could relate to. So
let it go. Let it go.
Which is a very apt song for her situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't sing that around her.
Also, the cold doesn't bother me anyway is very apt because she has to have her hand in his cold body to puppet him.
Right.
And so, but I'm excited to see where this goes. We're gonna go see a movie this weekend.
Oh wow! How many tickets do you have to buy in that scenario?
Well, this is the thing. As a feminist, I find we should be paying evenly for tickets.
Okay,
you know
that's
what I mean?
awesome.
Thank you.
But
but she's still kind of old school. So I'm buying my ticket and his, and he's buying hers.
Okay. So you do have to buy a ticket for the dead body.
Yeah, I'm buying a ticket for the body, but then he's covering popcorn and soda, which adds up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And he's got kind of a big appetite.
This guy can eat. Because I tell you, he never feels full.
Yeah.
And so he's munching. He'll go. Have you ever seen anyone get the all beef Frank at the movie theater?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty rare, but sometimes it definitely is an attention grabber.
He got seconds of the all beef Frank, and he puts everything on it.
Wow.
Mustard, ketchup.
You keep referring to him as if he has a separate personality. This is a psychotic woman who is still attached to her dead husband.
Is she psychotic, or is it part of the grieving process?
Wow, Howard, every grieving woman is a psychopath.
That's not
what I'm saying. Is she being hysterical?
I hope I'm not around when I'm dead, Howard. What are you going to say about me?
Well, if everybody deals with your death in a healthy way, then maybe I won't say shit. Okay, but this just sounds...
Are you just going to put me in the ground when I die?
What are your wishes, Sam? Do you have a will?
About what this is?
You want to be puppeted around?
Of course. I want to have an afterlife on Earth.
You won't be around for it, though, is the thing.
But my being will be, and he'll be really funny.
That's right.
I hope.
Well, you've seen his will funny. He wants funny corpse puppets.
Well, this is the new thing. There are many ways to be dignified in death. Some prefer cremation, to be spread over the ocean. Some prefer to be planted in a coffin, to have a final be a gift in a nice wooden box. Some people prefer to be planted just under a tree and grow that way. I would like this new thing that is happening more than just now.
Are there other people who've done this?
You've got to go to our lawyer. Who's doing our living will, because he's got a whole menu.
And you can make changes anytime.
Just got to text him.
Is this Bill Tussauds?
This is Bill Tussaud.
Yeah, it's Master Tussaud.
I didn't know his name was Bill, I guess, but yeah, it is Master Tussaud.
Master Tussaud is what he goes by. But that's the opposite of Madam, right?
And he's got this crazy wife.
Oh my God.
Crazy wife. She's into like wax figurines or something.
She's a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah. She's weird, yeah. Sounds weird.
Yeah, so right now my option is I'm going to be put under a hat at a lids. So when someone pulls it out, I'm going to fall all over their feet. It's just a little prank when I go out.
And I'm going to be a model at Victoria's Secret right in the window. And then if it's ever the last bra and they have to get the one from the floor, then I'm going to fall out.
That's right.
Of the bra.
I didn't realize we had this many sort of wide-ranging options for when we die. My will is very vanilla.
Really?
Yes.
Vanilla.
Yes, I have a very...
Doesn't really surprise me, but tell me about it.
Well, no, it's just very standard. I die, 3-day viewing at a funeral home.
3-day viewing?
Yeah, I get embalmed, and I'm laying in a casket for 3 days.
What's the rules on the 3-day viewing? Any ins and outs?
What do you mean?
Do you have to get a hand stamp?
Once you come in, can you leave and come back? Is it a hand stamp?
Yeah, it's not like a nightclub. My wake isn't a nightclub.
So ins and outs are okay.
Ins and outs are fine,
Fantastic.
I guess.
And what's the catering deal?
In and out?
Yes, there ins and outs.
I mean, I didn't put that in my will. I thought the funeral home would probably just take care of
you've got to
light
take
hors
care of
d'oeuvres.
everything.
You've got to think of this stuff. I mean, don't you watch daytime TV? They advertise all this type of stuff to us to scare us about what happens.
I'm usually at work during the day, Todd, doing my job.
You got to have the TV on in the background.
Like, for example, in my will, it says, the kind of puppet I would like to be is a steampunk puppet named Jingle Jangle. And when you go around, I have to have lots of chains dangling off me so everybody can hear me from down the street. And then when I get there, I only talk about weird machines.
Right. And this is, of course, Jingle Jangle. So if you need the last bra at a Victoria's Secret, you got to get it off of Jingle Jangle.
And let's just say some of the chains are attached to the bra.
And it's a bit of a puzzle. And the body might fall right on you.
That's right.
You really got to think of this stuff. So let's see. No ins and outs, no in and out. Sounds like you haven't planned your funeral a ton.
Well,
what about movies? Any movies playing?
At my funeral?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I'm going to have...
Maybe something from Kevin Kline?
In and out?
I was just going to put a slideshow of like good memories, but it sounds like you're obsessed with In and Out being the theme of my death.
No, we're just thinking of stuff we would want at our funeral.
Good theme.
Yeah, good themes.
What else would you... all right, you guys are planning my funeral. What else happens?
There's obviously the slapping of the body.
I'd want the good people to respond affirmative, and I'd want the bad people to respond negative, that they're going to attend.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to say
the good people are in.
Are there normally RSVPs for a funeral?
Got a good one, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you have enough seats, you know how much food to have.
Also, mine's going to be a surprise funeral. I want it to be a surprise funeral for all the attendees.
So everybody... They say if they're attending the funeral, but they don't know when it's going to be, and one day they'll all just end up walking into the same place, and the body will pop down and be like, surprise.
Pop down.
My funeral is going to be at the mall.
Wow.
A place where everybody goes on accident at the same time.
Well, geez, I honestly didn't realize I had that many options, and now that I do, I guess maybe I can go back through my stuff with Mr. Tussaud. Myself.
Master
Tussaud.
Yeah, well, I'm working on my will a lot because I'm looking for, I think a lot of money's going to be coming in with this Theater Pass app. It's really killing it out there.
And you can see, what is this, up to 3 high school plays a week.
3 high school plays a week if the high school is accommodating to the app. You pay for it, you email us, and then I'll Venmo you for the ticket.
That's right.
I opened up the
And
app.
are you on Venmo?
On and off, yeah. There's some tax stuff I'm working on, so on and off, yeah.
I opened up the app today, Todd, just to see what's going on.
Right.
And it actually looks like I can only see a children's production of Fun Home.
Right. Yeah.
So
this is kids,
Wyoming.
This is kids discovering their sexuality in the play, but also the adults are played by kids. In Jackson, this is Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson Hole.
So
it's
if you
far
wanna
away, and it's not the play I want to see.
If you want to see Fun Home at Fun Hole, Jackson, pay for the ticket out there. Excuse me.
It's emotional. It's emotional.
Let's talk about death and corn addiction. Got me emotional.
And porn addiction.
It's just I'm so passionate about my business in porn addiction. Carrot penis.
Go to www.carrotpenis.com today to see all the best porn that we love at the Teachers Lounge.
All of Carrot Top's favorite pornography. But again, I'm emotional because it's the first time I've really done. I've done money-making schemes before, but this is the first time I've done something that I've been cared so much about children's theater,
right?
And getting the butts and seats for that.
It just feels like it's already falling apart because it went from being any play you want, any child's any theater around any city.
Well,
now it's one play 1,000 miles away from me.
I had faith in the app.
And
it looked hard. All these things you're saying, it looked really hard. It looked impossible. But I said, you know what? I know Todd. He's ruined my having faith a few times before, but I'm going to give him faith again. And I went to 4 plays last week. 3 of which I expect to get reimbursed for, and 1 I have to take on my own because I was so into high school theater and I went more than the
That's great.
Which play?
Now I have an email to you.
Shoot me an email. Hit me back again.
Yeah,
Did you get bounce back, or what was the response?
I got what said was a mailer demon, but it looked pretty personalized.
Oh no, that's mailer demon for sure. That thing is so hard.
Okay, well I'll just email you again because I have faith that you are going to pay me back.
Thank you. And don't believe the stuff you're seeing. I don't know if this is going to be dated by the time this comes out, but I worked really hard with Shadow on developing this app, and these people are good people. They killed it for me on there. And if the email is an issue,
they're the ones that ruin the American elections, right?
Just Iowa,
yeah,
just Iowa and just the Democratic Party. And there were a lot of issues at hand. If you read their apology, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm appearing before Congress next week due to some. I got some shady investments, I would say, to get this started.
That's so unfortunate. You go into business with people and you think, we're all above board here, right? I know I am.
I'm above board, and I'm just working with the best people that want to do the best things. And then all of a sudden, you see some money being moved around through some different bank accounts. And
so you saw it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I did it. But not for Congress.
Yeah.
Sam, how's your life going?
It's going good. It's going good. Well, it's going bad. I lost my...
Ooh, you had me for the first 2.
I know. I want to tell everybody my life's good, but right now it's really bad. I was in the running to be on the combo menu at both McDonald's and Carl's Jr. as a chicken strip.
Right.
Wow.
They pulled out.
Wow.
They pulled out.
Both of them.
They pulled out. They don't want to do it. They said, we're burger restaurants. That's what we are. We can't change. And I said, that's crazy. So...
That does seem like a lie because both of those restaurants have chicken dishes on their menu.
I know. I was like, well, yeah, you're a burger restaurant, but you have chicken
McDonald's
strips.
has a fish dish.
Come on. I know. And I'm a human chicken strip due to my bouldering and all the talc I have to put on and then frying myself.
Yeah, your Boulder Club is, of course, a great crew of people who like to boulder, but also... roll yourself around in an egg wash.
That's right.
Talk up your body.
Well,
with
because
flour.
it's a dangerous hobby. You're up there, you're on a hot rock, and your hands sometimes don't want to hold on to the rock, which keeps you secure. So, of course, you have to get an egg wash. Then you have to jump in a powder bath.
Perfect sense.
Then probably you have to jump back in the egg wash. Then you have to jump back in the powder.
This time with a little more seasoning.
Yeah, and as you climb the rock, you can hear the sizzle, but you can't feel it on your hands because of all the breading.
Which is, your hands are immaculate.
This is just how the sport goes.
Have you considered that it might be time to move on to maybe a spelunking?
Oh.
Or another rock?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Something inside, something colder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to bread myself and become sort of a chicken.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like you're always, we've talked about this, but you're always giving yourself up to be eaten just to be accepted. And maybe a spelunk or something like that.
Maybe you're saying I could maybe go down in the dark, hang out in the cave for a while, maybe kimchi myself. Is that what you're saying? Put a lid on the cave and kimchi myself?
I mean, yeah. So for spelunking, I mean, obviously you have to kind of sit in a little bit of a vinegar bath just because it's so cold down there.
Yeah, I put my headlamp on. I walk down to the bottom, pour vinegar on myself, sit in a pot, put a lid on it, check back on me 6 to 12 months, and kimchi, there I am.
Is a kimchi a 6 to 12 month process, or you're saying the human equivalent of a kimchi?
It's pretty long if you really want a good one. You can really kind of let it go. As I could be the mother. I could start many kimchis for generations.
I don't want to speak out against a whole base of a food for a culture, but the product does not equal the time. I have never eaten a kimchi and said, thank God for that. This definitely took 6 to 12 months to make.
Well, it's like a sourdough, you know? They got a mother. It's always sort of growing and changing. And I think, well, I don't know anything about kimchi.
Well, let's take a quick break. I'm a little sweaty in here.
Can I say one thing before the break?
Sure.
I miss Bill.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about it, but I miss Bill.
We addressed it barely.
He's on the road, and I hope he's doing well.
Honestly, we haven't heard from him, and it's. I hope it's going all right.
I assume it's because he's busy and making sales.
No news is good news.
Well,
exactly.
Speaking of Venmo, obviously he was kicked off of Facebook, so all his updates have been Venmo. He'll make a payment on Venmo and say what he's been up to.
Kind of a we had a baby eats a boy situation.
It's a classic we had a baby eats a boy.
He'll Venmo us 1 cent and say, all's fine, hair's long, selling diaper beef.
Making money.
Yeah. But Bill, we miss you. We love you. And we hope to hear from you officially soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Give us a call, collect. Or 1-800-CALL-ITT, like our friend Carrot Penis.
All right, folks, thanks so much for sticking it out through the break. As always, we appreciate it. And as always, we've got a guest in the lounge today. Honestly, really excited to talk to this young man. A lot of you probably saw the assembly that he was here for today. So you maybe already got a little bit of his message, but we wanted to dig a little deeper. And we invited him on the show today to talk a little bit about his experience. And I want to introduce him. It's a fellow by the name of Brostein. Brock, how you doing?
I'm just so remorseful for what I did, you know? Obviously, I've learned my lesson, you know, drinking and driving is fun. Yes. Obviously,
really launching right into it.
Super fun, but it's bad things can happen. Potentially, bad things can happen.
Now, Brock, I don't want to immediately jump down your throat, but it seemed like a lot of your assembly today was about how fun drinking and driving can be. I would say 80% maybe.
For sure. Yeah. Because the thing is that I think that one thing that us kids need to all admit to ourselves is some things that are bad are also really fun, you know, like jaying off or like, you know what I mean? Like stroking off.
Right.
Yeah. We know too well about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, also like weed,
right,
pills,
right,
snorting stuff, huffing. You know, autoerotic asphyxiation. I guess that goes with stroking, but
these are things that are fun, but you're saying to avoid, right?
Well, I'm saying that you can be
aware of the consequences.
Be aware of the consequences because it is a trap. It is a slippery slope.
And I kind of get your perspective from a certain standpoint because it is crazy for adults to get up on stage and say, "Don't do these things.
Right?
They're bad," and not acknowledge the fact that the reason you get into those things usually is because it's fun, because other people are doing it.
Look,
it's a party.
Look, I'm embarrassed about what happened to me. I mean, if I could go back to that night and not plow into a Taco Bell, you know, and puke my guts out everywhere, all over the car seat and everything, and then on top of that, for the security camera footage to go viral online. You know, that's embarrassing, and that brought shame on me and like my parents and my sister. But yeah, I can't go back because currently time travel doesn't even exist. So I can't go back in time. So all I can do is go out and spread the word and say, if you do this, it could go bad for you.
Right.
Right.
And
so that's my message to the kids.
I don't want to make you relive it, but I don't want to zoom past. A lot of the video went viral for different reasons because at first it was viral because you crashed in, but then it became one of those viral videos where you were mad at the employee for not having what you wanted to eat.
Well, as soon as I crashed through the front entrance, I was like, well, you know, that was a mistake, but I'm here. I might as well get some food.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, my personal preference is the 7-layer burrito, and they didn't have that at the time. So, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously the first thing I did was take my shirt. I mean, you saw the video. I took my shirt off. Started flailing around at people, trying to slap people, trying to push people, shove people down. And a lot of people also, I couldn't tell who was injured because there were a lot of people like kind of strewn all over the lobby, all over the restaurant. But
they had been hit with a car.
They had been hit with the car.
And the shrapnel from the door and building.
There's a tremendous amount of glass.
Yeah.
That's the thing that most Taco Bells are made mostly out of glass now. And so when the car, slammed through there, obviously, the video makes it clear, people were hurt. I started shoving and slapping people when I didn't get my order. So
you stayed in there a good 25 minutes.
I stayed in there a good 25 minutes because also I had to go to the bathroom like really bad. And so then at that point, I was just like, well, fuck, I'm just going to piss right here.
Right. Because you were in an argument trying to get the coin.
Yeah. Well, also, I wanted to get the coin to open because you can't get into the bathroom without the coin that they give you. And I'm like sitting there like trying to hold it. So, is it embarrassing? Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would. Obviously, like I said, time travel currently doesn't exist. Hopefully it will.
Not to jump down your throat, but another 10% of your presentation today was kind of the ways time travel could exist in the future and what it would look like if it did.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that if scientists would just hurry up and figure out time travel, then we could go back and fix some of the embarrassing stuff that happened to us. So a lot of the presentation today was about that. I feel like a lot of the kids were with me on that too, because they hear the potential that time travel could present to them too.
There was a lot of participation from the kids at that part of the presentation. A lot of like, yeah. Like, a lot of like call and response almost that you were trying to rally the kids onto your cause.
Well, that's the thing. That's what's unique about my presentation, because when the judge sentenced me to this circuit that I now have to do and going around and speaking to 600 public schools, he said, you better come up with a compelling message. Like, what's different about what happened to you? And so obviously time travel.
Nobody's touched it.
Nobody's talked about that. And the potential that time travel would allow us to go back and erase our mistakes.
So the time travel thing is a bit of a ratings grab for you.
It's not a ratings grab so much as like a hook. Yeah, it's like a hook into my story, and it also does help deflect attention away from the tragedy of the people that were injured,
Nah. Sorry, you say,
and also I also just want to say I don't mean to interrupt you, but there was a one of the things that I talk about in the presentation is a tremendous amount of food waste that happened that night. And I'm against that. Taco Bell obviously had to throw away a lot of, because there was shards of glass and motor oil and gasoline, got all into the meat and to the tortillas and stuff. So they had to throw all that stuff out. So
that's a really wasteful corporate policy.
That's part of what I talk about.
And so I saw that you're kind of doing the Greta Thunberg thing, but yours is about food waste reform after cars have crashed into fast casual restaurants.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, also time travel.
Now, you said a minute ago the court ordered you to do 600 presentations at 600 schools.
600
Is
schools.
That a year? Because that would require constant travel.
It's 600 schools this year, yeah. So I'm going to be going like all over. So in a way, it's kind of a fun way to see the country, unfortunately, my parents have to pay for it.
Okay.
So,
are you driving?
So
are
that
you
kind of
doing
sucks. I'm not allowed to drive anymore.
Right.
My license was revoked. So,
hey, me too. I'm right there with you.
So I have to take, public transportation or a bus or a train to all these different schools, which is also making me learn my lesson, because now that you can't drive, it's like that's like punishment in itself,
right.
Because driving is a privilege. It's not a right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
so
freedom. It means freedom.
It does mean freedom. So now the beauty of a car is that you can go anywhere. A train, you have to go either forward or backwards. So it's very limiting. It's infuriating. A lot of times I'm sitting there and I'll sneak up into business class, and some of the businessmen will be like, well, why is this kid up here? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you. I try to slap them. Several times I've gotten into arguments and shoving matches with these asshole businessmen. businessmen. And but that's also teaching me a lesson too, and making me appreciate the potential for time travel.
I was going to say, you use the train as a metaphor a lot for time travel. It's like trains can do it. Why can't we go backwards and forwards?
Right, exactly. I mean, because I feel like eventually when scientists, if they would stop being so lazy, if they figured out time travel, then we won't even need the bullshit of trains. We won't need any of that stuff. You'll just teleport.
You wouldn't even have to apologize. How awesome would that be?
That's the last 15 minutes of my speech is about how this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. And you can remember it if you want to. You don't have to, because with time travel, I'll be able to go back and fix this, and you won't even know that this happened.
Yeah, that's an interesting turn your speech takes, is the idea that you're expecting time travel to happen sometime soon.
Yeah.
So you're tanking the end of the speech because it's like no one's going to remember it.
I don't want you to have to remember this if you don't want to, because teenagers have a lot to remember anyway. There's so much information. There's the internet. There's magazines.
I never thought about that.
There's websites.
Yeah. It's kind of like the internet, I would say, websites.
Websites, the internet, there's .com, there's, there's different things to click on.
I know I was supposed to remember all this
it's
stuff.
hard to remember all the stuff. So if you don't want to remember the rest of my speech, you don't have to, because of time travel.
That's awesome. I mean, we here in the lounge, we're sort of the bad boys on campus, and we find ourselves not wanting to, but having to apologize for a ton of bullshit like this.
Right.
And we would love for time travel to just be able to get us over the hump of why apologize when you could just go back and pretend it never happened.
You guys are so lucky that you have found a community of cool teachers like this, because in the schools that I've been around to, most teachers are dicks.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Not us, dude. You want a sip of this alcohol? We're cool as frick, dude.
Am I really allowed to have that?
Yeah, this isn't some sort of
There
trick or
aren't
anything else.
rules of the school don't apply in the lounge. That is true.
Nice, dude.
All right.
Wow, I haven't had a drink since that night.
It takes the edge off, doesn't it?
Man.
A little less angry. You feeling it?
I'm getting a buzz.
Now, Brock, a lot of people, your story to a lot of the kids in school and a lot of the teachers starts the night that you crashed into that Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But there was a lot before that you honestly don't really get into very often with the kids. You sort of don't tell them about your past, saying that's when your story starts.
Right.
What is something about Brock that maybe the kids haven't heard? Something from your past that they could maybe connect with and sort of take into their own lives that could maybe be a positive influence?
Yeah, well, I don't go into a lot of my bio because of the fact that it's controversial, and a lot of the judge specifically said to skip over a lot of it.
Damn.
Because what they said, and when I wrote my first draft out, was that it was too quote unquote upsetting or quote unquote disturbing. So I guess what it is that when you grow up with a troubled past like me, and you become like a bad kid, then they want you to kind of leave that out, because they don't want you to inspire school shootings, suicides, date fingering, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I had a tough childhood. I was urinated on a lot by my sister, and teased and bullied by my sister. I had my hair pulled and slapped. She was always slapping my hair and slapping my neck.
A lot of these things sound kind of like classic sibling rivalry. I mean, the peeing on is a little much, but even, what's the age difference between you and your sister?
She's a year older than me, but she's big. She's fucking big, man.
Okay.
She's built she's huge breasts, very muscular breasts.
It's kind of funny you say she was slapping you and hurting your neck. It's kind of some of what you were doing with the Taco Bell employees.
Well, that's what they say is, psychologists and psychiatrists, they say that the abuse that you get rolls downhill. I don't know if you've ever heard that term of something rolling downhill. But so it becomes you pass it on to the person behind you. But yeah, so to go back to some personal stuff like that is, it was just very, very hard for me growing up. I grew up in a very affluential Connecticut suburb, and my parents are like super, super wealthy, and
tough for you because it's like that's a lot to live up to.
It's so it is hard when you are given everything, like when you for anything that I wanted, I could have. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that is abusive also because it's like I didn't learn to appreciate.
Yeah, affluenza they call it.
No limits. What are my limits?
Thing.
Let me test my limits.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me do everything.
So that causes acting out, acting up, stuff like that, and also just like questioning, like, who am I? What am I going to be? And I also feel like my parents and being so wealthy took away a lot of my motivation.
Sure, it shows.
I mean?
It shows.
So yeah, and then also having a sister that was calling me names and slapping me.
Yeah, pretty standard sister stuff, I think. Older sister.
Is it? And so that sort of like sibling abuse really scarred me.
Well, I want to talk about one other part of your presentation. It's the time travel part again. But you lean pretty heavily into the idea. You show us the math of how much money has gone into cancer research. Mm-hmm. And you tell scientists if all that money went into time travel, you could always travel to pre-cancer.
Absolutely.
And that to me feels a little bit like a good idea that I never thought of before.
Well, think about, if you had to take a guess how much money the government spends on cancer research every year.
$250.
So, no, it's probably in the millions.
$1,000.
250 million, maybe.
I don't even know. But all of those, the point is that we could take all of that money and put it into time travel research, and then we would just go back before cancer, and how awesome would that be?
This sounds like the solve to me.
You could see your grandparents, you could see think of anyone, name someone that's died of cancer. Anyone.
Michael Douglas.
Okay, you could go back in time and tell him everything that you always wanted to tell him.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
He's still alive, guys.
No. Mm-mm. He got cancer from his cunnilingus. Mm-hmm. You remember this?
Yeah,
right?
He got cancer, but he hasn't died yet.
Well, I want to go back and tell him how much I loved Candelabra. That's
behind the.
Yeah.
Do you just say candelabra? Like you just drop it casually?
Well, he's going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He doesn't, I kind of cut it off so that it's like, hey, we're close. We don't need to be proper.
With Matt Damon, you'd say the whole title.
I'd say I loved The Martian.
You're right. Not behind the candelabra.
No. Not a fan of his performance tonight.
For me, it was hard for me to think of someone, but then it immediately popped into my mind. Both my parents.
Yeah. So if you could, imagine if you got into a time travel closet, or the most realistic portrayal I've seen is the hot tub model.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And so if you got into like a hot tub,
because it's comfortable, which is what you liked about that.
So you get into like a hot tub time machine, and maybe some of the guys from the movie are even there. I don't even know if you would want the actors from the movie.
You got a standing O when Clark Duke came out during this presentation today.
Yeah, well, he's been legally mandated to do a parallel speaking tour also because of what the stuff that happened to him. So let's say you traveled back in time using a hot tub or any of the various modes of time travel.
Yeah, DeLorean.
And you got to see your parents again.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So how happy would that make you?
It's so great. I never really got to talk to my dad about Candelabra. And I would definitely tell him how much I've moved by that movie.
Yeah. You guys really like Behind? You guys seem to really love.
It's a big influence on the Teachers Lounge. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it really inspired me to groom someone to look exactly like me and sleep with me and all that. It felt like
it's where we got the idea for all of our real hair.
Oh yeah. You could tell all of our hair is real, grows from our heads. That was an inspiration. Our chins, obviously, are candelabra influenced. So I probably talked to my dad.
I got to go back and I got to be honest. I need to go back and rewatch Behind the Candelabra.
Absolutely.
You'll
Just
get it.
because
You'll
as
get
like
it
a teenager,
immediately.
like I feel like I missed a lot of that.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot in your teens. You see a movie that's a little more adult themes, and you don't get some of the.
That's the problem is like they don't make movies for teenagers. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like so many of the movies are, it's for adult theme people that like adult themes. You know?
Right.
And they
Yeah.
just kind of go right over your
It
head.
goes way over my head.
It's interesting you bring that up now because that was the topic of the chat you had after your presentation that you said kids could stick around for.
Well, that was the meet and greet.
Yeah.
I do a meet and greet afterwards to talk about movies, to talk about music, to get, people's email addresses or phone numbers or whatever so we can keep up to, they can text me and tell me where the party's at. So yeah, I mean that's one of the side benefits of having to do this bullshit is that when you're traveling around, you do a meet and greet afterwards. You try to get the guys out of the way, and then you meet the hot girls.
Right.
You get their phone numbers, and you say, "Where's the party at?"
Obviously, this isn't the point of your tour, but
No.
it does seem like you're pretty popular with the ladies. Kind of a good side effect.
You're very popular with the high school ladies.
It's for sure, because I think people look up to me because I've gotten so good at public speaking, and then and also. If you saw the presentation, there is a little bit of like lip syncing at the end where I put on like a cool hip hop song and I lip sync to that. So, people think like, oh, maybe he raps or whatever. So people think I'm cool.
That is so cool.
Well, I mean, that's part of the putting on a fun show is like incorporating music, stuff like that.
Right.
The judge won't let me use some of the visuals that I used to do because I used to do like a PowerPoint, and then I thought it would be funny if it was every now and then there would be like, I would show like some of the footage from the accident and show some of the drinks that I had that night and how to make those.
It's
drinks.
like The Hangover.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, Zach Galifianakis, I'd fly in his picture up there.
You'd fly in his picture.
I'd fly in his picture on PowerPoint. Yeah. And then every now and then I would do like sort of an inside joke where there would be like just a flash of pornography. Like there would be like
right, very Fight Club.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
Fight
There'd be
Club.
like a picture of like Brad Pitt with his dick out or whatever,
What?
And then the judge was like, "You can't, don't do that."
It's weird that the judge vetoed that, but let you do the part at the end where you dance around on the butts from the Baby Got Back music video. I don't know what his lines were.
I think it's from his era. It's of his era,
maybe
so he
that's a
thought
little more.
he could connect with it. He doesn't get the Fight Club stuff. He's more of a Baby Got Back music
He
video
loves Sir
guy.
Mix-a-Lot, I think.
Well, it was Judge Mix-a-Lot.
It was
right?
Judge Mix-a-Lot. Who is the coolest. He's one of the cooler judges.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
For sure, one of the cooler judges. But
He knows Becky. From the music video. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. He's good friends with Becky.
Yeah.
So it's not Sir Mix-a-Lot became a judge. Is it Sir Mix-a-Lot as it's his brother, or like one of them got knighted and the other became a judge?
His backstory's murky. I don't think he's not really coming around. He's not coming out and saying it, but I think he's somehow connected to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I mean, why is he being murky if he named himself Judge Mix-a-Lot? It seems like you just got to come out with it.
I
Take
feel
it
like
up with him.
most people are really like very like curious.
Yeah.
Like who is this guy? Is it Sir Mix-a-Lot? Is it his brother?
Can I ask you a theory I had from seeing some of the court drawings?
Of course.
It seems to me like Ito just rebranded. Is it
Like what?
Is that Judge Ito rebranded?
From the OJ trial?
Is that it?
It probably is. Yeah. It's probably Judge
Ito is now Judge
Lance,
Mix-a-Lot.
It's Judge Lance Ito. But you guys have had a lot of speakers come and do different assemblies here, and I'm just curious, like, how do I rank? Like, because there is an award that they give out.
Yeah, I'll say this:
the assemblies.
Your mic got cut faster than most of the previous assemblies.
So that's good.
Depending on how you look at it.
Let's start with the pros.
Great.
Most assemblies have not had one of those like super T-shirt guns that they use at halftime
T-shirt
shows.
cannon.
Yeah. But the new ones
Like
that have
Gatling
like 12
gun
or 15
that just
in them.
Well, Budweiser gave me a bunch of T-shirts, and I got to give them away, and so I shoot them out at the can, and you can also shoot hot dogs out of those.
And you are sponsored by Budweiser?
The tour is sponsored by Budweiser. But I'm not allowed to talk about it. I can only I can give away some merch, but I can't verbally say it.
Yes.
I think you're a great public speaker. I think you ooze sex on that stage. I gotta say it. As the theater teacher, I'm always trying to get my plays to have a little bit of edge to them.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get a lot of these actors. They're so self-conscious about who they are and what they're putting out there.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna point to that presentation when I'm directing from here on out.
Cool.
Because there's just you mentioned Brad Pitt earlier. You have that kind of Brad Pitt energy where it's just like I just want to be around you.
Well, because like I heard that last month they had the group come in to talk about STDs, and that just sounds lame. Like who wants to hear?
They were basically like, don't fuck.
Right.
And all the kids were like, yeah, okay.
Right. Like we're not going to.
Yeah.
Like we're going to do it anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so you might as well I would even say like it's probably a better message to say just get all of the STDs, get them all now and get them out of the way.
Knock them out. Yeah,
you do realize if you get them and you cure them, you're not immune to them. It's not like
work up the antibodies.
That's not how it works with STDs.
Oh.
Well, no, I don't know. I might be with you because you know they have chickenpox parties. I'll have an STD party where it's just like everybody comes in, gets it, 3 keys in the bowl.
Well, the other thing is like the women that were doing the STD talk, they didn't mention time travel once. You know what I mean? Like who get all the STDs? They're gonna come up with time travel, and then you're just gonna go back in time.
Okay.
And then you don't have them anymore.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't
now
get
here's my question for you. I think it's what we're all thinking. If you get an STD and you go back in time to unget it, does that also take away the sex you had? Or the memory of it, or the feeling, or the joy.
It does take away the sex, but then you could just have sex with the person again.
Oh, you can just keep doing it.
Yeah, dude. That's the whole thing about time travel is you can make the same choices, but then you just go, if it was a fun choice, if you liked it, fine, do it again. But then you just go back and keep going back.
Can I ask you? Would you go to Taco Bell again?
I would, but not in the way that I did it. Just because of the amount of glass and the food waste.
The food waste,
yeah. 100%.
And also like, having to pee like right there in front of everybody. And then, I forgot about the people that were hurt. Yeah, also the people that were hurt.
Well, and it was not just the glass. I do want to talk a little bit too about it was how Taco Bell learned that a Doritos Locos can explode in a way that it can get in someone's eyes and body just like glass.
For sure. They have started to use Doritos in their shell, casings in the taco shells. And I don't think that they did any laboratory research to know that when an automobile impacts it over going at like 65 miles an hour, it's going to cause an explosion.
Yep.
And so, there's just like cheddar powder everywhere.
It's the dust. The dust you can't account for. It's so minute. It's like spores.
It
like
turns
mold
into
spores.
kind of biological warfare in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, in the shell, too, it's really hard and sharp, so.
Yeah, you said shell casing, and I think that was the right words to use. Those things fire off like bullets.
Well, you know what happens when you take a too fast of a bite and a chunk of a Doritos Loco taco gets stuck in your gums. I mean, imagine a car hitting it 65 miles per hour. That's the speed you were clocked at.
Yeah. Because I didn't brake at all. Because the thing is like this Taco Bell, I'm telling you, it came out of nowhere. Like I was just driving along. I vaguely remember falling asleep for a few minutes, and then like out of nowhere, this Taco Bell just like, I'm glad it wasn't one of those KFC Taco Bells because there would have been even more food just destroyed.
Food and people. Maybe more people in there also.
I mean, yeah, I guess probably. But the food,
right?
Because KFC,
corporate ways, these corporations.
Yeah. I mean, it is sad. Honestly, but like, I shouldn't say it, but like, if you're in a Taco Bell like that late at night, like you're asking for trouble anyway.
Right. Well, we saw your court case, and that was a lot of the defense was that they deserved it.
I represented myself.
I was going to say,
yeah.
How did it go?
You pled that everybody there was insane.
That was my approach. Is like that when they say to plead insanity. What you do is you convince them that they're all crazy.
Right.
You can do it both ways. You can say I was insane, or you can say everybody else was insane.
Everybody else was insane.
You gaslight the whole room.
And I'll tell you, I watched a lot of the court case, and I felt insane. It worked. You made me feel, I'm honestly loco.
Well, I started off blasting Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. And then, I started the smoke machine, and then I kick open the doors, and I start, pointing at different people in the jury box, and obviously the judge.
Really similar to your high school presentation.
There's a lot of similarities. But yeah, trying to convince them that they were all insane.
Yeah. You're saying Sharon like Ozzy, but you don't really have the impression down, so it's a little confusing. It made me feel nuts. It really did.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty dramatic approach to defending yourself. But
hey, it worked. I mean, you only have to do 600.
It worked. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at like 4,000 schools, and they knocked it down to 600.
Hey, by the way, I have some more of that parapet as much as you want.
Oh,
that's for everyone.
It's really good.
Yeah. My man, this guy can drink.
Now, as you said, you have 600 schools to get to. I mean, do you have another presentation today?
Later on this afternoon, I'm supposed to. Yeah.
Wow.
But now I'm getting buzzed. I'm getting super buzzed.
Well, I tell you what, you're a good dude. I want to see another of these presentations because that one got me amped.
Yeah.
I can't really. I have some foot problems, so I can't drive. But if you want to take the lead on this, I'd love to just roll with you. You don't have to take a train.
I'm happy to
and
navigate.
I'll watch this next one. Yeah, there we go. We got a navigator up front.
Man, if you guys want to come with me, that would be fun because I'm telling you, dude, these meet and greets, you can meet a lot of very attractive people.
Great. You know I'm very curious, even just to talk to some attractive people. I'm currently kind of in a thing right now.
Oh, what's your thing?
Well, I'm dating a widow who is not over the death of her husband. So right now she's puppeting him, and I'm mostly talking to him on our dates. But I'm hoping that her and I are going to have a thing soon.
That sounds really cool.
It's awesome.
Well, it's
It is
intimate.
awesome. It's intimate, and I know it's making my ex jealous, which is great. But what'll make her even more jealous is if I roll with you to this and I start talking to some of the hotties at the meet and greet.
Now I know you have taken a couple sips of
Big sips
of alcohol, so maybe I should drive. Maybe we don't let him.
Okay, great, and then we'll stop at every yellow light.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Why would we do that? Why not let me get back in the saddle and
That's right.
and isn't that what they say to do? If you fall off a horse, you get right back.
Well,
on.
we believe in growth. We believe in
Yeah.
moving on. Second chances. How is this guy going to get another chance?
Well,
if we don't
because
give it to him?
Cherryville's your next presentation, and I know for a fact there's 6 Taco Bells on the route.
Oh, geez.
And I just feel like it's sort of a perfect storm of a situation where you've had a little bit of alcohol, you're getting back behind the wheel. There are Taco Bells aplenty. I feel like maybe I could. How about this? How about I drive for a little while and we let you take breaks between the Taco Bells. We'll stop at each Taco Bell.
If you can get me past the Taco Bell and then we can switch, just get me right past it, and then we'll stop the car. I'll run around and get in the driver's seat.
That feels like a good compromise.
Yeah, because but you got to be careful, man. I'm telling you, these Taco Bells, they will come out of nowhere. They'll come out of nowhere.
Well, maybe that's what we'll do.
Do that, and that'll give us a little more time in the back. Do you like your parapet rocks or neat?
I like it on the rocks. Also, do you guys have any pills?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll start with some. I got some warfare in here.
I got Advil.
Advil, Wellbutrin, Oxy.
Nice. You guys ever snort Advil?
Oh, dude, every morning.
I have to. I can't ingest it orally.
Yeah, Todd can't swallow.
So it's either snort or suppository for me.
You put it up your butt?
Yeah. If I can, I can get it up.
Well, I mean, what do you have? If you have a headache, no, of course.
Well, no, headache is snort. If my butt hurts, I'll throw it right up the butt.
So anything above the waist, you
Right.
snort. Anything below the waist, up the.
Well, technically, still a snort.
So, yeah, it's still a snort, but it's just it's not my nose.
It's a butt snort.
Yes, that's right. It's a BS.
So it's the opposite of a fart.
That's how we take our pills
It's
in
a
this
reverse. You reverse fart it up your butt.
And I have to be around stinky air for it to be an official reverse fart because it doesn't
makes
pull
sense.
stink in.
So somebody else usually farts, and then
I'll butt snort
then you
my
butt
Advil up there. So it's tough. If my lower half is hurting, the situation has to be just right for me to take a medication for it.
oh man.
That makes sense.
Well, geez, Brock, it was really great having you in the lounge today.
Man, I'm just so psyched to meet cool teachers like you guys.
There's nothing cooler than impressing a teen or college student. As an
Brock,
adult,
you're awesome.
There's nothing makes me feel more nervous than having someone your age around, and I'm glad that I impressed you.
Man.
Yeah.
How do we do it? You think we're cool?
I mean, for teachers, yeah, because like I said, most teachers are dicks.
Right.
Not
and
us.
and
Not
like
us.
the government should start cutting back on teachers. I think, like people always say, not to get too political, but people are always like, oh, we got to help teachers. Blah blah. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, do we need this many teachers?
Right.
Too
many teachers, you think?
Too many teachers.
I'm with you. A lot of these people are riding the government paycheck.
Because you guys, if we cut the number of teachers, we could take the same amount of money and split it.
Rich teachers.
There'd be more money to go around.
Right.
be
Or
awesome.
even take their money and throw it into, I don't know, time travel? Research
That would
or
be amazing. If they took the money that they're wasting on schools and they put it towards time travel, that would be amazing.
Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm looking forward to partying with you,
Man, I can't wait to party with you guys.
Awesome. Well, yeah, Brock, again, thanks so much. And everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. And tune in next time. Until then.
Did someone just toot?
Huh? I just farted.
My foot hurts. I'm going to come over there.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody, until next time,
Stay
flippy.
flippy.
Class is out and the coffee's on. I got a couple things on my chest, but I got to get off. Cut me some slack and pour me a cup of that joy. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. Let's wrap it up and hit the road.
If you enjoyed the Teacher's Lounge, make sure to check out their bonus mini episodes available on Stitcher Premium. Just go to stitcherpremium.com/teacher and use promo code TEACHER for your first month free. Also, the guys would like to thank Casey Trela, who made the incredible theme song for the show. You can check out his music at Casey Trela, that's Trela, on Twitter. Finally, the Teacher's Lounge has a lot of great merch available. Just go to podswag.com/teacher and see for yourself. Thanks for listening.